So you've been collecting CDs, maybe rediscovering old favorites, maybe diving into secondhand record store finds, and now you're looking for a portable CD player that won't break the bank. In 2025, surprisingly, there are some great options under $200. Two names keep coming up: the Fiio DM13 and the Moondrop Discdream 2. Both have been generating a lot of buzz. Both claim to combine portability with high-quality audio, and both have their fans. But which one is the better fit for you? In this video, we'll compare these two head-to-head across design, features, sound quality, usability, and value. By the end, you'll know exactly which one makes sense for your setup and listening habits. These two definitely take different approaches when it comes to design. The Moondrop Discdream 2 is slightly larger in footprint, but surprisingly lighter, weighing in at 14 ounces compared to the Fio's 15 ounces. The way their lids operate also highlights their differences. Moondrop's lid opens with a simple pull at the corner and doesn't lock shut, while Fiio uses a latch switch that flips open and locks closed. Which approach is better depends on how you use the player. If you're mainly listening at a desk, Moondrop's quick and easy lid feels more convenient. But if you're carrying it around, Fio's lock gives you extra confidence that the lid won't pop open in your bag. Another difference worth noting is that Moondrop includes the transparent top by default, while Fiio charges more for that look. On the bottom, Moondrop has larger, more prominent feet, which gives it a stronger desktop device vibe. Fio's feet are more subtle, making it feel more naturally portable. Sound is, of course, one of the biggest factors. The Fiio DM13 uses dual CS43198 DAC chips, while the Moondrop Discdream 2 relies on a Cirrus Logic 32-bit decoding chip. Both sound excellent for the price. They deliver clean playback with solid bass and treble that's present without being harsh. The Fiio occasionally reveals a touch more detail, especially with the right headphones, but the difference isn't dramatic. For most listeners, the two players will sound more alike than different. Both also support gapless playback, so you won't run into issues with albums that transition smoothly between tracks. If you do notice gaps on the Fiio, a firmware update usually fixes the problem. When it comes to headphone outputs, Fiio offers more flexibility. The DM13 includes both a standard 3.5mm jack and a 4.4mm balanced output, which is a real plus if you use balanced cables with your headphones. The Moondrop Discdream 2 only has a 3.5mm output, which keeps things simpler but less versatile. Both units can connect digitally to external DACs through coaxial output, but Fiio ships the adapter in the box, while Moondrop requires you to buy it separately. On the flip side, Moondrop includes an analog line-out option, which lets you connect directly to powered speakers or a headphone amp. That's something Fiio doesn't provide, so each has its own advantage depending on your setup. Battery life is fairly similar between the two. Moondrop claims 9 hours and Fiio claims 10. In real-world use, both land close to 9 hours of playback before needing a recharge. How you use them makes a difference. If you enable Bluetooth on the Fiio, for example, the battery drains more quickly. Both players charge via USB cable, but neither includes a wall adapter, which you'll need to supply yourself. Skip protection is always a concern with portable CD players, and both models handle this well. Fiio has a dedicated button for its ESP, or electronic skip protection, while Moondrop doesn't have a button but still includes effective anti-skip functionality. For actual portability, Fiio again feels a bit more travel-friendly thanks to its secure locking lid and discreet feet, while Moondrop's larger footprint and more prominent base make it lean slightly toward desktop use. Still, both are perfectly usable in either scenario. One of the best things about modern portable CD players is that they can double as desktop units. The Fiio DM13 makes this easier with a switch on the back called D mode. When you turn this on, the player runs entirely from external power, preserving the battery. Moondrop doesn't have a similar switch, so its player always runs from the battery even if it's plugged in. That said, you can keep it charging while in use, so it's not a huge problem, but it is a less elegant solution. Fiio also has a larger display that's easier to read from a distance, which comes in handy for desktop listening. However, it lacks a dedicated stop button, which might frustrate some users. You'll need to press 2 buttons at once to stop playback. Moondrop avoids this by keeping a simple, dedicated stop button on the front. This is where the two players really start to separate themselves. The Fiio DM13 has optional Bluetooth connectivity, depending on which version you buy. That makes it possible to listen wirelessly on headphones or stream to Bluetooth-enabled speakers. It also has the unique ability to rip CDs directly to a USB thumb drive while playing. That's not a feature everyone will use, but it's handy if you want to archive discs without involving your computer. Moondrop takes a different approach. Instead of Bluetooth or ripping, the Discdream 2 can double as a USB DAC when connected to a computer. It supports up to 32-bit 384 kHz PCM and DSD 256 playback. This makes it much more versatile if you also want to stream high-resolution digital files from your computer, in addition to spinning CDs. Now let's talk about the price. The Moondrop Discdream 2 sells for about $179.99, while the Fiio DM13 ranges from $154.99 to $184.99, depending on the model and features. For example, the transparent lid and Bluetooth version sits at the higher end of that range. Both players clearly meet the goal of staying under $200, which already makes them more approachable than a lot of new CD players on the market. So which one should you buy? It really depends on how you plan to use it. If you're looking for the smaller, more portable option with balanced headphone output, Bluetooth support, and the ability to rip CDs to USB, then the Fiio DM13 makes the most sense. But if you prefer a lightweight player that already includes a transparent lid, works as a USB DAC for your computer, and offers straightforward controls, then the Moondrop Discdream 2 is the better choice. Now we'd love to hear from you. Which matters more to you? Balanced outputs and Bluetooth, or having a built-in USB DAC? Let us know in the comments below, and let's see which side wins.